Hello, 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 everyone. Well, I don't know why I'm singing, but I'm stoked to have you back. I'm in a really good mood. We've got a 6-speed build today. I'm stoked with how this house turned out. I'm so happy. And look, this house wasn't as planned. I have this sick mansion that I was going to share with you guys this week that's taken me forever to build and even longer to sit down and try to edit. So instead of trying to do that and actually getting it out the door and having it be a bit of a lame edit and not giving it the time it needed, I decided to just start from scratch and build something else and pop that up this week. And I'm so glad I did because I love this house. I love this house. Whenever I build anything industrial, which this is, it just speaks to my soul. I think that if I could build any house and money wasn't an issue, that I'd love to go with a bit of an industrial build. And I'm building in Windenburg today on the Havisham House lot. And I'm doing sort of like a converted factory vibe. So it's very boxy, lots of red brick, as I said, industrial. It's the first time I've been using those windows. I've just popped in now from the Moschino, however you pronounce it, stuff pack that I just got. So was super pumped. They're the perfect look for an industrial vibe. And ultimately it just looks like this could have been an old factory that's been converted, and I love it so much. I'm getting tongue-tied. It's like a party central house. It's got only 2 bedrooms, but it's got heaps of other rooms built out that you could convert very easily into other bedrooms if you want to have kids or big families or whatever living here. I am so tempted to play my Let's Play at this house. I know that the last house I shared was an apartment, and that was with the intention of doing my Let's Play there. I did try and record that Let's Play, and I got through the entire recording before I realized that I hadn't actually recorded my screen. So that was a massive fail, and now that I've had some time away from that to process how annoying that was, I've built this house, and now I just don't know. I don't know which one I should do my Let's Play in, seeing as how I have to re-record it all. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, if you think I should go with this house or if I should stick to the apartment that I did in the last build that I put out. The only difference really being, they're both industrial, so they're very similar there, but the only difference is really that I've used a lot of custom content in the apartment build, which is cool because it's fine to do so in a Let's Play. I've gone back to my usual regular scheduled programming with this build here, so no custom content, there's no barrier to entry or to download, so you're not going to have big gaps missing if you do have all the stuff packs and game packs and expansion packs that I'm using. There are going to be quite a few. I do tend to use a lot of stuff from a lot of different packs, especially artwork. This house is filled with artwork. I think I've got about 3/4 of all of the different artwork that you can get just in this house. So anyway, I'm going with lots of glass on the inner sort of atrium vibe there, and a bit of a loft vibe. So you can see that as you walk in, you've got massive double vaulted ceilings. You've got that cool industrial ladder that takes you up. Not a ladder, sorry, staircase that takes you up to the loft mezzanine level. And then on the 3rd level, another level up, we've got that glass sort of rooftop party zone, which is actually an indoor nightclub, which is like the sickest thing ever that I've ever built. It makes me so excited. I feel like as I'm doing this voiceover that I'm really hyper and worked up, which is quite bizarre because it's actually 8 o'clock at night on Tuesday, the day that I'm meant to be posting this video, so I've left it very last minute, but I've got some good energy and some good vibes. I think that this house just brings the good vibes out in me, to be honest. As always, I sort of have a bit of a storyline in mind when I'm building. I think that really helps with the whole process. So I sort of imagine some creative Sims living here. Look, honestly, any Sim could live here because it's just such a vibe. But it's sort of built for older people. So older people, I can barely speak. It's built for more adult Sims. It's got a lot of adult entertaining sort of areas. There's 2 bars, there's an outdoor eating area, there's a rooftop, as I said, nightclub. So it's very adult Sim oriented. I haven't built any rooms for children. As a matter of fact, I've only got 1 main bedroom, and the 2nd bedroom is sort of like a bit of a share house vibe. So it's got 2 single beds in there, but it's definitely not for kids. So you'll see that when we get to it. But Anyway, the vibe is certainly a bit more adult. It's a bit of a party house. Like, how could you not party if you have an internal nightclub at the house, you know? And 2 bars. But anywho, in terms of the exterior, I'm using lots of industrial elements. So I've got those like big glass windows, the Moschino windows, as I said, those frames that I have that have like creeping vines and stuff up the side of it. And I'm really keeping the landscaping on this super simple. Normally I love to go ham and all out for the landscaping, but this week I've kept it a bit more simple. I've just got a couple of trees and I'm using the lily of the valley sort of flower as like grass around the base of those, and then otherwise all of the other greenery is just up here on this rooftop deck that I'm building out. So it's a bit of a gardener's haven up here. You've got a barbie and you've got your little outdoor eating area with a bunch of places to grow some herbs if you so desire. And that's really it. So I've kept it pretty simple on the outside. I feel like industrial builds, especially when you're building them in a city or a metropolitan area, it just makes it so much easier because you don't have to really worry so much about how it blends in with the landscape, because you just whack some cement pavers or whatever down around the outside of your house and you sort it. It just sort of blends right in. But anyway, we're into the kitchen now, and again, more industrial vibes in here. And I just love everything about this house. I'm just going to keep saying that. But I wanted to do a bit of a quirky and eccentric vibe. So I've got red sort of featured in the kitchen here, red and black. And I love that. There's like sort of a lot of mismatched styles happening in this house, which I think you can get away with a bit of an industrial feel. So the kitchen is pretty functional. It's got a massive industrial sort of wood block bench top, which I quite like. It seems quite functional. And then I'm just integrating that big display shelf at the back there, which I think has even more industrial vibes. And I like it because it's already full of clutter, so you don't have to add anything on your own to really fill that out. And my favorite thing ever about that set of shelves is that it has those hanging plants on them. I am obsessed with hanging plants, both in The Sims and in real life. I am a bit of a Mother Earth plant lover at my house. We, wow, I'm going to say this out loud. I guess I'm going for it. We do little plant tours at our house. So at the end of each week, Julian, my boyfriend, and I walk around and we look at all our plants and we talk to them and we see how they're doing and how they're growing and shower them with love and praise them. So I really do like plants, and I think that they're beautiful and add so much warmth to the house. And all those hanging plants I just think are so beautiful. I just love them. And so I love that frame sort of shelf unit for that reason. And otherwise I'm just cluttering the absolute bejesus out of the kitchen and just chucking heaps of stuff in, which in this type of build you can get away with because a bit of clutter actually goes a long way to make it look more realistic and lived in. And then in terms of this sort of corner just to the right as you walk into the house, you have this really cool bar area. And again, this is double height vaulted ceilings here, so I do end up changing what's on the wall a little bit. But really cool bar on the side, kind of got that vintage glamour sort of look about it. And otherwise, I'm just going to use some rugs here to layer them. I really like the idea of using layered rugs in The Sims. There is a layered rug option that I do use in this house in a couple of locations, but I'm sort of making do with my own version of it here. And just popping the dining table off that with a bit of a mirrored wall to the left as well. I like to use mirrors to really open and expand space inside both The Sims and in real life. Mirrors are the best for that reason. That's why a lot of mirrored splashbacks are obviously a big thing, because it makes your space seem a lot larger than it is. But anyway, I digress. This is me just adding a few more industrial elements here behind the bar. As I said, double vaulted ceilings, popping in a couple of those, like those red pipes throughout, just again to add a bit more realism. And here you'll see what I'm doing with this mirrored wall that I was just talking about. So I'm just making this huge piece of mirror that goes up the entire side of the building that you can see from both the mezzanine level and the downstairs level. So you can sort of talk to people through the mirror if you're upstairs and downstairs and still be able to see each other, which I thought was pretty cool. And then there's a couple of living spaces in this house purely because it is so big. So this is more of like the formal living room, I suppose. It's got those beautiful glass outdoor that like lets you see outside. That was a horribly constructed sentence, but you get the idea. And I'm just giving lots of comfy places to sit. We've got a nice fireplace. Again, look, I'm just mixing and matching styles here, like prints and loud colors. And I love this lounge room. I love the whole idea that it's a sunken lounge. You have to kind of step down into it. And my favorite thing about probably this entire house is the wall behind the television, because I have wanted for so long to do this crazy, like, picture collage wall, which is finally I had the chance to do it in this house. It seemed like it made sense for the style and for the, you know, the like height of the ceiling. It made sense to do it here. So I'm really just collaging a whole bunch of pictures on the wall. And one of my gorgeous best friends, Eva, her house is like this. You walk in and it's just artwork everywhere. And even though it sort of is just adorning all of the walls, it's so thoughtfully placed and it's just, stunning. So shout out to you, gorgeous girl Eva, and your mum and family for having just impeccable taste. Well done. And then just behind the kitchen here, we've got a study. So I wanted obviously for there to be heaps of skill building items for The Sims. As you all know, if you've been here before, I'm obsessed with skill building. I think the more you have to leave your house in The Sims, the more inconvenient that is. Like, I can just never be bothered. So I like to give my Sims everything that they could possibly need in their house and do it in style. So that's what this office is. It's quite funky. It's got, you know, some stuff for you to paint on, an easel that is called Lily, duh. And you know, my favorite part is using these little fairy lights. I use them throughout the house in quite a few areas actually, and it just gives so much warmth to the space, and again makes it feel so much more lived in and like homey. But anywho, the bathrooms I had a bit of fun with in this house as well. There's two and they're different styles. So this one here is, I end up changing it to a bit of a black and grey scale, but I have fun with, you know, clawfoot tub and just like choosing the elements. My favourite thing with the showers, in fact, in The Sims that I'm at the moment that I just cannot get away from, is the little wall shower spout that is just there and making it look like a walk-in shower. It really annoys me that that is the cheapest shower you can buy and you get the least amount of hygiene needs out of that shower, and it breaks all the time and it's just the shittiest shower ever. But for some reason I can't stop using it, and I think just because aesthetically it works so much better than the showers that are in boxes that you can only face one direction. So if I could petition The Sims really for anything, it would be another one of those showers, but a really good quality one. You know, that would be very nice. But anyway, that bathroom is both a bathroom that can be used by guests, and it also has a door for an ensuite into this bedroom. So this is sort of the main bedroom. It's downstairs. It's got lots of natural light, but it's pretty basic. I mean, it's not jam-packed with skill building needs. I liked the idea of having this little meditation and yoga zone right by the window. I thought that would be such a nice way to wake up, get up, do some yoga. I've tried to do yoga myself in the past, but I'm super unflexible. Like, I just do not move or bend in any certain way. Even though I did ballet and jazz and danced for like 15 years, which is a really, really long time, I just was never really flexible. I just don't have the, you know, body type, somatotype for that, I guess. Anyway, I digress. But I thought it would be nice nonetheless to put in a cute little meditation zone there, and just a few little clutter items on that shelf with a little microphone. Maybe this person's into singing, who knows? I just want to give them the option. Or maybe they want to practice their comedy without having to do it in front of everybody else who lives in the house. Lock themselves in their bedroom for a bit of privacy, you know? Everyone loves their own bedroom for that sort of stuff. But now we're outside, and this is the first outdoor area. I've already shown you the one up on the roof, which is the second one, but this is sort of the first one at the entry level, where you come in. You've got a beautiful view in this house that looks out to like the mountains and the houses on the other side of the river. This town, Windenburg, just reminds me so much of Amsterdam. It's crazy, like everything about it, except for the fact that there's mountains in the background, because the Netherlands is like literally one of the flattest countries on earth. Fun fact. But anywho, I'm just filling out that garden there with lots of little pot plants, and you know, there's not too many opportunities to grow plants unless it's in those planter beds. So I'm just doing all of the plants in the downstairs area with pots. So they're like cute little collections of pots. And then we're back inside now and we're doing the second living area, which is up on the second floor. There's that layered rug I was talking about earlier. Love it. I end up going through a bunch of the swatches and I think I just end up keeping it with the original one here. But ultimately I went for a bit of a vintage vibe up here, which I really love. It's got a lot more warmth and it just I don't know, just gives you a bit of a hug. This room up here, it's the type of place where you don't ask before you put your feet up on the couch, and you know, it's just gives off those posy vibes that you need in your life, you know. So I really like it. It's obviously a lot less formal looking than the one downstairs, which is sort of where you might entertain. This is more of a family zone area. I love those books on top of that suitcase there. I think that's such a nice touch and a really beautiful piece of clutter that I don't get to use very often, so was stoked to pop that in. I did experiment with changing around the wallpaper a couple of times, but ultimately I went back to concrete, but just a darker shade, which I think helped to warm it up a little bit, the space. And otherwise, I have two sort of little random rooms up here. And the reason being is that I want people to download this house and have it work for whatever family they want. If they have kids, this could be a nursery, or it could be a teenager's room or kids' room or whatever, as is the second bedroom that we're going to build out. I kind of wanted to leave it open-ended for people to decide with what works best for their storyline. So I basically just staged it out. Staged it sounds like a property video. I just set it out like a gym in that top room there, and just set up a second pretty basic bedroom on the next room here, which we're about to look at after this bathroom. So let me know what you think about that. I normally get really nitty gritty into the details of the Sims that will be living here, but I thought I'd leave it a little bit more open-ended this time, just because the rest of the house has so much personality. And I also am really loving the whole roommate function that you can get with The Sims. So maybe you literally just move one person in and then you get a whole bunch of random roommates in the other rooms, or add a few beds, whatever you want to do, it would work. It's pretty cool. But there is a second bathroom up here, which we're just finishing cluttering out now. It's got a black vibe. It's very bougie. It's got an expensive 10,000 simoleon TV at the end of the bath. So that's always fun. And that's just off the living room. Here I am building out the little twin bedroom here. A long and skinny room is actually really difficult to furnish because the double bed doesn't seem to really fit. The single beds together I think really work. Can't really woohoo in them, but you know, that's fine. I don't think you want your roommates that are sharing a room to also be bringing people back to woohoo with while they sleep next to you, you know? Maybe you're into that, who knows? No judgment from me, but difficult to do in The Sims, that's for sure. But otherwise, I'm just kind of adding in some really random elements on the walls there because, you know, why not? Make it kind of look not lived in as such, that room, because it is sort of, I kept it in mind that it would be for roommates versus, you know, family members. And then otherwise, I've got this cute little, gaming section here. Nice big tree in the corner. A bit of a place for some beer pong, juice pong, whatever. And then this is the creme de la creme, the pinnacle of this house, the best part about it. I love it so much. This is the internal nightclub, the gig room, the chill zone, whatever you want to call it. I'm just obsessed with up here. It's like a little live music area, more of those layered boho rugs. It's got a bar, it's got a seating area. It's just everything I've dreamed for and more. It also has another one of those collage picture and poster walls, which I love. And my favorite thing about this upstairs is the lighting. I'm getting really into my lighting in The Sims at the moment. I normally would just chuck in heaps of those saucer lights, but look at that, look. I just love it. As I was saying, I'd normally chuck in a bunch of saucer lights and just call it a day, but I love the mood lighting that you get with this when you just take a little bit more time, have a bit more care. And as you can see now, I'm just putting in things like lava lamps and whatever, and I just think it adds so much to the mood. The dance floor is illuminated that looks down over the beer pong table, what a vibe, you know? But anyway, we're going to get to the end of the video shortly, and I don't want to waffle on the rest of the video about the lighting effects for too long because that's a little bit lame. But I do want to say thank you for joining me every week, for coming back for another video. I hope you guys are enjoying them. I know that sometimes I say I'm going to record one thing and then I end up recording something else, but bear with me. I am still, learning to keep up with a rhythm of one video a week, which is a lot. But thank you nonetheless. I love having you guys here. Every time I read a comment, it just brings such a joy and a smile to my face, and I just love you all so much. So I really hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment, say hello, join me on Discord if you'd like to, and otherwise I'll see you next week for another video, guys. Have a good one.